Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. It's Thursday. It's lunchtime. I hope you are all happy and healthy doing the things that you love with those you love to do them with. Guys, smash the like button as you walk in the door. Sorry about yesterday. Yesterday I had 1,000 things on the go, and I couldn't find time to stream, so I didn't get a chance to do Rabbit Hole Ramblings, which I'm devastated about. Apologies to all the Rabbit Hole ramblers out there. Didn't get to do anything on this channel. Didn't get to do anything on Football Inc. either. And can only apologise. But we're back today. And we've got a lot to talk about. Lots of things. Tottenham have appointed a new commercial director that starts in January. Primary focus is to get the naming rights deal done. He's the geezer who got the Hill Dickinson deal at Everton, £10 million a year for the Hill Dickinson arena, which, look, it's a lot of money for the stadium, considering Everton aren't really in Europe that much and don't have the multi-purpose thing. I'd also say, though, it's a stretch to see where the value comes. I know Hill Dickinson are a global corporate law firm, but again, I think he's obviously a good salesman. He's a very good salesman if he's managed to sell the pitch to the Hill Dickinson lawyers, who maybe, I don't know, gobbled up a stupid one there. Because to me, I've always maintained to you guys that the value in stadium naming rights deals are that you need to have like a global footprint, but you need to have a B2C relationship. You know, you need to have like business to consumer to maximize the value, to keep that brand going. Because the average person is not going to have a effing clue who Hill Dickinson is. Anyway, this guy got that deal done. He's going to come in and try and get us a £25 million a year, 15-year deal. I'll come to that story. We've also got the breaking news from yesterday that I would love to have spoken to you guys about, which was about Diomande. Because I tell you what, I've seen a lot of different initial takes on this guy. People whose opinions I respect are telling me, you know, if we sign him, nothing's changed at Tottenham. You know, he's 19. We've got enough kids, yada, yada, yada. And look, I would tend to agree generally. You know, like, are they going to come in and do, and is it going to be another Mathys Tel or an Udogie situation? Lots of potential, but not ready. But I'd be honest, like, Diomande for me, I mean, I became aware of him when he was at Leganés, the Madrid-based team that came up from La Liga 2 in the 23-24 season. And then they spent last year in the La Liga. They got relegated immediately, but he came in and was basically a kid, right? And he immediately got through the B team, got put into the first 11. I think he made his La Liga full first 11 debut against Barcelona, and was understandably in that system, Leganés, like they're gonna Leganés. I don't know how you say the actual name. Madrid, it's a city in Madrid. And then he's obviously transferred to RB Leipzig, right? And his carrying ability is phenomenal. And more at Leganés, he was essentially like the only outlet in a defensive system that was hanging on for dear life. And they would just feed the ball to him at 17 and a half, 18 years old. And he would just terrorize people. Good output in 10 games. I think he got like 3 goals and 3 assists. And this season, he's done something similar in 12 games. He's got wonderful carry, wonderful balance. He's got a lovely shot on him. He's strong. He can ride a tackle. And it's no surprise to me that everybody in world football, all of the big teams, are looking at him going, is this the next insert whoever you fancy there? He's got a little bit of a Jeremy Doku about him. You know, he's got a little bit of I know he's got like the strength of sort of like a Rafinha as well, but he's tall. He's not. Is he that tall? I don't think he's that tall, is he? Where is he? Let's have a look. No, he's about 5'11" or something, but he's not lightweight. He's not lightweight. I tell you, the future of football is Africa. The future of football is Africa for sure. You know, rather than setting up like what I would do if I was a billionaire owner of a football team, I'd be going out to I'd plant little pick a country in West Africa, East Africa, North and South and Central, and have like some centers of excellence. You know, have some senses of it. I'm sure they already exist to some degree, but like there is just an unbelievable amount of talent coming out of there. You know, unbelievable amount. Can we see it? We need men. No more kids, Butler. Destiny. Big up, Magic. Listen, I hear you. I hear you on the no more kids thing. I do. But I've also seen a lot of like proper, I don't know, football bros who with massive accounts saying, who are Liverpool fans saying, would probably rather have him than Semenyo, just because Semenyo's like a here now fix. But how old is Semenyo? 25 or something? This kid's got that horrible word that we're not allowed to use, ceiling. I don't mind it. Listen, I don't mind it. If we sign Yan Diomande, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm putting it out there, you know, because I don't think we're going to get Semenyo anyway. I don't know what the price tag will be, to be honest. I've got no idea. What's he actually valued at? Let's have a look-see. 20 million euros on transfer market. Yeah, double it again, probably. He could be like an Antonio Nusa. We were talking about Antonio Nusa 3 years ago on this channel. Nusa. I said to everyone at the time, go and get him. He's my boy. Him and Skov Olsen. I never stopped talking about Skov Olsen, never stopped talking about Antonio Nusa. And both of those players went on to become very, 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 very good players. Very good players. Still no one talks about Skov Olsen. Don't know why. Don't know what he's ever done to the footballing community to get the disrespect he gets, but he's a baller. He still gets the output every single game. Anyway, guys, big up to you all. Smash the like button for me. Smash the subscribe if you haven't already. Also, please do double check you're still subscribed. Right, every day if you look for my content, because you might be unsubscribed. Because there's such a weird thing. On a day I'll get like 30, 40 subscribers. The next day it just drops off by 20, and then they come back and they just go again. It's weird. It shouldn't be that way. I don't know what's going on with it. So take a look. See, make sure you smash the subscribe. Yeah, I definitely got gift all band wrong, Niall Higgins. I definitely got gift all band wrong. You know, and doesn't Irish Dave always remind me of that one? Although I remember Irish Dave waxing lyrical about a certain Evan Ferguson. You know, Sean, intensify your chat up lines. Get Helga on loan with no obligation. I think that loan with no obligation is a little bit of Viva Street style, isn't it? To be honest. Oh, what have I done? Left my thing. But guys, stay there for 1 second. Sorry, bear with me 2 seconds. Sorry about that. I've seen Semenyo play as a teenager week in, week out. I believe he is far from his ceiling. Yeah, no one's saying he's at your ceiling for sure. YouTube hacker's going to YouTube hack. How's everybody feeling about Brentford, by the way? It's only 48 hours away. We've got to double down, haven't we? I had to think again after I saw the highlights the next day after the game against Newcastle. I went back and watched the game again, looked at the stats, and I think my initial title of the show was so much spirit. And I will credit the spirit, because I feel like if you go 2-1 down late in the game, robbed by a disgusting penalty decision, and I still maintain that was an absolute disgraceful decision, that it's easy to drop your head. But to fight back as we did, I think a draw was a fair result. However, it doesn't mean that we played particularly well. It doesn't mean that any of the problems are fixed. It just means that we have demonstrated that in spite of our problems, in spite of our inability to create too much, we are still able to kind of rally the troops. But this rallying kind of cry seems to happen more away from home, right? We were 2-0 down against Brighton away from home. We come back to grab the point. 2-1 down, 1-0 and 2-1 down against Newcastle. Come back to grab the point. Most of our kind of fight back spirit mentality seems to happen away from home rather than being at home. I know we drew against Wolves, but I mean, us and one other team are the only points that Wolves have got this season. And so I definitely think the players are not going to sort of show that will and that fight at home at the moment. I think that they've got a general resentment towards the fans, right? And that's a big problem. But like I've said a few times now, I just think that if Tottenham Hotspur, if something has to move, if there has to be a bridge building exercise, it has to start with the players. It has to. And the fans will jump on board very quickly. If they go and put in a good shift against Brentford, the fans will get on board. But if they screw up, if they let themselves down, if they drop their concentration for a couple of minutes or any of those sorts of things that happened against Fulham, the fans will get on their back again. They will. And everything that, all that kind of desire and will in the game against Newcastle will be for nothing. You know? Big up, Nikos. You're definitely Christmas wrapping viewing material. I've been called worse. Adam Horlock. Sean, how are you doing, pal? Hang about. I've got Johnny on. Let's see what Johnny's got to say. Johnny, you're live on air. How you doing?
I'm all right. Dear. Yes, live on air, and welcome to everyone on Spurs Talk Show. Congratulations to everyone for tuning in to the best Tottenham Hotspur content show on YouTube. Yep.
Thank you, mate. Can I call you back, buddy?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, mate.
I'm free.
Okay, I'll call you back. Cheers, mate. Bye. Rabbit Hole's not on tonight, Niall. It's going to be on Friday night because tonight we've got Spurs 5. Tonight we have Spurs 5. You are owed a Rabbit Hole rambling episode. I know, yeah. We're going to make it up to you guys. We're going to make it up to you twice a week. I don't know when we're going to do it. Probably Sunday will be the other one. Yeah, Football Inc. Go over to footballinc.com. Football Inc. is the place. It's the best place to see all of your conspiracies in football come to life. It's weird, actually. Football Inc. does seem to be like a little bit of a conspiracy channel with regards to football, because we always bring up these things that are happening, and then about a month later or 6 months later or a year later they manifest into reality. It's remarkable how often these sorts of things happen. By the way, did you see, we'll speak about it later on Football Link, but did you see the Brentford owner, Tony Bloom caught up in some major betting scandal allegedly? I mean, you think you know a chairman. Everybody's all over him as being one of the best chairmen in the game, and he probably is, in terms of at least like maximizing the value that he has from his unbelievable data science expertise, right? Him and his boys, his team. It's unbelievable what they do. But if you're doing illegal betting on games that you're not allowed to do, then they are all at it, Destiny. They're all at it, but not just in the UK as well. It's in other games as well, isn't it? In other games as well. What does that say? Sean, your biceps are busted out of your shirt. No, this bit here, is it? This thing here, that's Bugsy Malone. Bugsy Malone tore that this morning in a fight. I was having a wrestle with her. She got the better. She won. Let's have a look at some stats, guys. Let's have a look at some of the things. Well, yeah, do smash the like, smash the subscribe. I've got a couple of super chilly chit chats from Some Tin Wong Man. Big up to you, Cat Funt. He says, no more kids or managers. Time and good business. No more kids or managers. Time and good business. As in, like, give Thomas Frank some time and bring in some decent players. Yeah. I agree. I would agree with for the most part. I'm just saying that. Have you guys actually gone and had a look at what this guy does? You know, I remember Jeremy Doku when he played for, I think it was Stade Rennais or Rennes. I forget which team it was, one of the R teams. And I remember seeing him when I was doing some research, because Tottenham were playing one of those teams in the Europa League under Mourinho, I think it was, maybe before. And I was doing some research on their team, and I saw I don't think he played. But I remember watching him going, holy shit, that Jeremy Doku is a baller. I got the same vibe from him. I hate doing this because I won't be able to prove the point because I wasn't doing content at the time. But I swear, as God is my witness, I swear to God, when I saw Mo Salah playing in Switzerland against Tottenham, I turned around to my dad and said, that kid's going to be an absolute disgracefully good player. We should get him. And the same with Jeremy Doku. And obviously, Jeremy Doku's taken a bit of time. He was a frustrating player for a long period, wasn't he? Lots of unbelievable skills, but you couldn't get the ball off Doku back then. You know, he's just unbelievable. And I think I got the same sort of vibe with this Yan Diomande. I really do. I get the same sort of vibe with him. And I think that he's someone that You know, the problem is, though, is that you don't get to buy these players for 20 million quid anymore. Like, you don't get to buy them cheap. Like, everybody knows about Yan Diomande now. If you don't, you should get to know. Sound like box office. 1 second. And yeah, so Pepperidge Farm remembers Gift Orban. No one ever allows me to get over. I listen. Gift Orban is still a decent player. He just obviously didn't. You know, if that's my biggest mistake in the content game, then fair play. Scout Butler coming for Foxy's job. Now, Foxy's amazing. Foxy knows fucking everything about every player. Lee's in the house. Bit up to you, Lee. Sean, do you see anything happening with Diomande in January? Won't he potentially be at the AFCON with Ivory Coast until the end of January? Yeah. But then, like, I don't know. Show some ambition. Go and get me both. I don't know how much it'll cost. I would imagine what you would do with him. I would imagine you do if you could. RB Leipzig would probably want to get a little bit of a sell-on fee in the future, because he probably does have the ceiling to want to go and play for Real Madrid or Barcelona if it all transpires. So maybe you do, like, I don't know, 55 million euros with kickers and 10%. But if Tottenham really want to do business, you go and get a player like him that can play left and right, and you go and get someone else, and you go and get your Ademola Lookman. I'm not saying we should go and get we could probably get Semenyo and him, but I see Liverpool fans saying, fuck Semenyo, go and get him. Okay, if that's the case, if you want to go and get Diomande, fine, we'll take Semenyo. I'm not picky, but I'm just saying that there's a player here that's become available that wasn't part of the shortlist, 6 months ago in the summer. Like, no one really was thinking that Yan Diomande was going to leave. He's only just joined. He's only been at Leipzig since when did he join? Yeah, in the summer, right? So he's got 12 games, Bundesliga, 3 goals, 3 assists, and in the DFB Pokal, he's got 2 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's played 1,400 minutes already, and in 24 games in his career, right? In La Liga, not including the second division. Oh no, he was playing in La Liga, wasn't he? He's got 6 goals, 5 assists in 24 games as an 18 and 19-year-old playing for a relegated, like the equivalent of Wolves now, because they came up and they went straight back down. And by the way, Legané is 18th now in the Segunda division as well, right? So they were a shocking team, and they just fed him the ball, and he did what he could with it. And he took on, like I say, he was brilliant against Barcelona. He got minutes against Real Madrid and didn't disappoint either. Then he goes to RB Leipzig, the natural step up, smashing it. RB Leipzig are a selling team. They always will sell at the right price. They always will. Like, their ownership model sort of prevents them or like requires them to facilitate under the Red Bull sort of ownership and the 50 plus 1% model. And then they have, I think they got the 50. I think they're one of the teams that they're not one of the teams. I think there's only 2 teams that aren't part of the 51% model, the fan-owned model. I think one of them is Leverkusen, that's owned by the Bayer family, the pharmaceutical company, and the other one is a team in Berlin. I think, is it Hertha Berlin? I can't remember. But anyway, because that RB Leipzig have always got like they've got more kids coming through their Red Bull channels, either out in America with Red Bull New York, or they've got a team in Australia. I think they've got a team in Japan. And obviously they've got Salzburg as well. And don't forget, like there's no 2 teams in the history of European football that have traded more between each other than Leipzig and Salzburg since that relationship became a thing. So this notion that there's no conflicts of interest there and that they should be allowed to both participate in the Champions League when other teams can't is a load of fucking junk. It's an absolute disgrace. Yeah, I'll take Nusa as well, mate. I take Nusa as well. Not for me, though, says Destiny. Rather Prem proven this Jan. He's only played 25 games in his professional career. This is kind of shocking. What's kind of shocking? Me saying it, or his stats are shocking? I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine with the notion that we don't get him. I'm just saying the people that say that he's like we shouldn't be touching him or shouldn't even consider it because he's a kid. I'm just saying that sometimes you see something, and I see something in in him, with my opinion. I don't care. You guys can have your opinion. I'm not telling you how to feel. I'm not telling you that you're wrong to say no more kids. I totally get it. Totally get it. And that's fine. And you're probably right. You're probably right that if you're a team that can like bolt him in like a Man City or a Liverpool that have already got some superstars and world-class players, then you're probably right. You know, like maybe that's just like Tottenham are kind of fixing the depth and the future before they fix the first team. I hear you and you're probably right. I'm just saying that for me, Yan Diomande for me is a player that I really like. And I think that he would be someone that would be ready before you would know it. I don't think he would be someone like like other players that we've had that haven't really made it. But listen, I'm not trying to convince you. Maybe I've got the wrong opinion on this one, but I just think he's brilliant. Yeah, Josh is saying if you actually watch him, he's brilliant. Forget the age or experience. If he was 25, people would be gagging for him. He's special. Yeah, I think he's special as well, Josh. I do. I really do. Can we drop the gift Orban? I know it's the season of giving. For you lot in the chat, gift Orban is the gift that keeps on giving. Damn it! Why did I ever drop on that fucking bandwagon for? You know? For every gift Orban, there's been 2 or 3 that I've called that I was right on. Lookman, Akliouche, and Gallagher in the January window. Well, Akliouche plays as a 10, mate. He's a 10. In the Premier League, he'll be a 10. You're not going to play Akliouche on the left or the right. And if you are going to play him, he'd be on the right, by the way. If you're going to play him off either side, he'd be on the right side. For me, because he's left-footed, I don't think that you're going to get Akliouche. I think we made the decision on Akliouche. It was Akliouche or it was Xavi or it was whatever else, and we went with Xavi. We didn't get him. I don't think when you look at the fact you've got Hecke that probably plays as a 10 or a right winger that drifts in, similar sort of positional hijacking, then I think that you're gonna struggle to see Akliouche come into that team, especially as you've still got Maddison as well, and obviously you've got Xavi Simons. So and also you can play Kudus in there and even maybe potentially Odegaard as well. We've got a lot of players that can play in that kind of role. I don't think you're going to see Akliouche. If we do, I'm fine with it. If they can justify it, I love the player. I love the player. But just like I look at Semenyo and I see the links from Semenyo to Manchester United, and I'm thinking, where does Semenyo fit into the Manchester United model? I don't think he does. Like Man United play a back three, they play a 3-4-2-1 with 2 10s, right? And they've already moved Mbeumo into like a narrower position, and they're doing the same with Cunha when he's fit. So I sit there and think, can you really see Semenyo playing centrally? I can't. He probably could, but to do what he does, he likes to drift. He drifts in from the out, and that's not the way that United plays. So it just doesn't make sense to me to see Semenyo playing in that system. And so whilst you can admire the player, I think sometimes you have to sort of shake hands with that some players aren't going to fit your model, And I don't think Akliouche is a bad player at all. I think he's a fantastic player. But I just think we made our decision. We made our bed with Xavi Simons, who, by the way, a lot of people are getting frustrated with. Other people are getting frustrated with the club for not giving him the opportunity. I'm more in the latter camp. I think that we haven't in any way, shape, or form allowed him to thrive this season. Well, I think that he will be as long as he can stay happy, as long as he can tolerate that this is a backward step in his career at the moment. It's a frustrating period. But he doesn't ultimately regret his decision. If he's sitting there thinking, you know what, I'm coming to the Premier League, I've got to make this work. And if he's a little bit humble, if he has some humility and sits there and says, you know what, when I have had the chance, I haven't done anything as well. So it's not just, it's sort of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Then I think if he's got a good mentality about him, then I think he will get better. And eventually we'll be sitting there going, do you remember Xavi in his first 6 months? My God, how shit was he? Or how bad was it? Look at him now. Right, he's a brilliant player, Xavi Simons. I really do like him. Although I absolutely do agree with Johnny for what it's worth that he is incredibly one-footed, and it would be nice to see him develop his left foot a little bit, because if you're supposed to be a wonder kid, spend a little bit of time working on your left as well. Wilson T, big up to you. Says, oh wait, I was back to a super chat, wasn't I? Sorry. Liston Hines, big up to you, Liston. You're in Sweden, are you, Liston? I didn't know that. Big up to you, buddy. He says, Frank's never played Polinia, Lucas, and Xavi together. It's obvious to me that setup would work very well. Have those 3 never played? Is that right? Is that right? I didn't know that. Wow. Do you know what? I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. Polina, Lucas, because Lucas isn't a 10. Oh, what were we calling him on Tuesday night? Lucas Flickval, wasn't it? Or Berghflick or something. He's like one of these. He's like the guy with the chat-up line, isn't he? We were saying this the other night. He's like the guy who goes, "Oh, did it hurt? Did it hurt? What hurt? When you fell out of heaven and landed on my, landed on my heart or whatever, And then some girl melts. Some girl melts and goes, "Oh, you're so good with the chat-up line." And then he goes, "Well, that's it. I'm going to do that. Every time I go out now, I'm going to use that chat-up line." That's what Berghvall was doing the last few games. Every time he gets the chance, he does these bloody flicks. Oh, Flickval indeed. I want that midfield. Big up to you. Thank you for that list. And I didn't know that's not been one we've seen before. That is a nice iteration. Yeah, I 100% agree. For me, I didn't like the fact that Pape Sarr was being used as the deepest of the lot. Like you play these people to their strengths. Play them to their strengths. This is what Nuno did at Nottingham Forest, right? Nuno obviously likes to play a little bit kind of, pragmatic and reactionary counter-attack style of football, but he tweaks his squad to the strengths of the players. Like Gibbs White was used in a specific way, Anthony Elanga was used in a specific way, Hudson Odoi was used in a specific way. Chris Wood thrived because, if you're expecting Chris Wood to be the guy that's doing certain things over others, then you're going to be disappointed. But if you play to his strengths, and he banged in, what was it? Was it third highest goal scorer last season? So like play your players to their strengths, and I don't think we do any of that. I don't think Micky van der Ven's being played to his strengths. I don't think Pedro Porro is. I don't think Udogie is. I don't think Polina is when he's asked to be more aggressive going forward. Just because he scored a couple of goals early in the season, but they weren't from build-up play. They were I think one of the goals, the goal that he scored against, was it Wolves, was from a recycled corner, right? So we were already committed. And I think one of the other ones that he scored earlier on in the season was that against Man City, was it? I forget. Let me know who he scored against. But all of the goals that he scored weren't really from open play. They were from recycled set pieces. And so to sit there and go, well, he's got the best output, therefore let's play him more advanced than Pape Sarr, or more advanced than Bentancur, or more advanced than insert whoever there. Madness to me, like really stupid. Obviously, Thomas Frank knows more about football he's forgotten more about football than I'll ever learn. So, but just as a fan, I'm just sitting there saying that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense when you look at Pape Sarr and you say, like, what's your best attribute? Your ability to cover ground, to anticipate the play, to kind of intercept, to pick players off because you're so kind of you look languid, but you're actually very quick with those legs. So you play him as a 6, like what? That doesn't make any sense. And I think Berghvall, I think Pape Sarr is at his best playing in a more advanced, either in that 4-2-2-2. You allow him to be one of the top two, or you let him be one of the kind of the more advanced midfielders. Or you play him in a 10 at the start of the season when he was really, really impressive, more advanced, just hunting people down and then distributing it. 1 second, guys. I've got a really itchy nose today. Sorry. Sorry about that. So yeah, I would like to see. I would just like to see square pegs and square holes a little bit more, And that list and that team that you just put out there, or that midfield, Polina, Lucas, and Xavi, I think works well. I don't think Lucas is a 10. I think he's an aggressive 8 that covers ground and runs around, and he's also capable of doing some really tricky, nice stuff. So you sort of, I think that you could get away with if you played a back 3 model, you wouldn't need a double pivot. You could just have a single solitary 6 because you have that additional support from Romero. If you were to play him in the middle, let me do the foot mob thing here. Still got all these stories to bring to you, by the way, but just whilst we're talking about it, just quickly as well, Wayne Bonner, big up to you, Wayne. Nice one, man. I haven't seen you for ages, buddy. He's become a new YouTube member. Appreciate you very much indeed. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. I think we have to give you the noise for that, don't we? What are we going to give you? The Spurs Talk Show puppies love, mate. Thank you very much indeed, buddy. Appreciate you, mate. That's very cool of you, buddy. Very cool of you. And it's nice to see you around these here parts, mate. Nice to see you around these here parts. Let's let me show you this. Oh, by the way, for those of you that are watching that are interested in the conspiracy stuff over on Rabbit Hole Ramblings, we have a new concept over there where because there's a new feature on YouTube where essentially you can do live streams, and then you can set a time on the live stream where you immediately pivot into members only content. So basically, I think everybody that's not a member essentially then gets kicked out. I don't know how it works, but we're going to trial it on Rabbit Hole Ramblings. And if it works, then I might be bringing it over here as well, because I don't give you guys enough content. The members, I'm terribly bad at giving the members content. I don't mean to be. It's just like I'm like so much going on. So what I was thinking about doing, if it does, I'll trial it on the smaller thing, the channel over there, and if it does work, then I'll do it over here as well. Where if I go live for like, let's say 2 hours, then I'd give like the first hour and a half open to everybody, and then just click it in for the last half an hour or something. I don't know, just to give some sort of way of showing appreciation to the members, because I feel like I'm terrible at showing my appreciation. Anyway, let's have a look see at this this thing, right? So for me, what am I doing there? Let's get Micky Van der Ven in there. As you know how I feel about like the ability to allow these guys, Porro and Udogie, to get forward, right? But I genuinely think that if you were to go to a back three like that, then you only need one. For me, you could get away with just 1-6 like Polinia, and then you can have Berghvall that can do his crazy shit. Can do anything he wants. Where it doesn't have to be like that, where it's 3-4-3. It could essentially be like almost like a 3-3-3-1. Not with him there, obviously. Let me get rid of him and put in, just for argument's sake, let's use this guy. Diomande, Kudus, Mwani. Or, if not him, it could be Xavi Simons. But I just think that Berghvall doesn't need... Berghvall, I think, is wasting the double pivot. I don't think he's not good enough at defending, and he's not good enough at passing from that position. But if you were to play more of a back three, then you don't need a double pivot. You can just let Polinia sit in there, or it can be Bentancur, whoever you want to use the deeper player. And then Berghvall can just have that kind of like that role to go and be a mischief and a nuisance, where he can get forward, drive with the ball into space, get the ball out to Kudus. Like I genuinely think that Berghvall is a tool, a proper tool in the nice sense of the word. he's a utility player. He obviously needs to work on some of his distribution, but his aggression, his work rate, his effort, and I think he's got so much talent that's ready to go. I just don't know if we know, or Thomas Frank knows where his best position is. And I genuinely think it's the same for like Pape Sarr. You know, if you do go back to a back four that's like this, like we were doing against Newcastle, and you decide to have Pape Sarr the deeper of the two, Bentancur there, and then who would be the other player that was on the pitch that day? It wasn't Xavi, was it? It was Berghvall, it was Kudus, it was Mwani, and it was wait, so he wasn't on. It was Danso there. Who was the team? Udogie, Danso, Romero, Porro, Sarr, Bentancur, Kudus, Berghvall, Kolo Mwani. Who was the other player on the team on the other night? Brennan Johnson, wasn't it? That was it. Yeah, so we did it like this, right? Some sort of version of this, for the most part. And I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. He's not a 10. Berghvall isn't a 10. Bentancur's a bit of anything. He's definitely not a 10, but he can play as a double pivot. But when they go, when one of them goes, it was him that was going, and it was Pape Sarr that was staying back. And I'm like, well, this guy can't press anybody from the 6. So like, what are we doing there? And that's my concern, guys. That's my concern. Not to get off the topic. That's my concern. Yeah, Johnson, be up to you. Yeah. 10 men and Johnson. Do you know what? I actually thought that Brennan Johnson played the stand that everyone said he does nothing, right? And I tend to agree generally, but his baseline for relative, like, oh, he did okay today. I'm not holding him to the same standard as I'm holding everybody else. I hold him to the standard of which I'm used to from him. And in the first half, I actually thought I saw quite a lot more off the ball work from him than and he was responsible for the first chance that we got when Romero lumped the ball over the top. And that was, for me, like, it was nice to see, at least in the real time, because I think Brennan Johnson is dumb. Like, no disrespect to him, I'm sure he's not watching, but like, I think he hasn't got two brain cells between his ears. I think that's part of the problem and part of the good and the bad. It's the Jekyll and Hyde. Like, I don't think he's not going to get phased when he gets a one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He'll score 9 out of 10 of those chances because he's not thinking about the pressure. It's like autopilot, like elevator music's going on up there, you know, or bit of clown music thrown in. I don't know, but I thought he was okay relative to what my expectations are from him, if you know what I mean. What's Scott saying? Big up to you, Scott. Says, since Berghvall and Sarr spend most of their time passing to the opposition, should be asked the opponent where they want them to set up. Yeah, Berghvall does need to stop giving the ball away. He gave the ball away 2 or 3 times in that first half against Newcastle, didn't he? But he also became Sir Flicks a lot. And he was the catalyst. For me, he obviously has miles and miles of things to work on and improve. Miles and miles of road to improve, rather. But there's also a lot there. I can see that he's got the kind of minerals of what I want. I don't know how you get him from where he is to being, being more consistent, more reliable. I need to change my shirt. This is horrendous. I look like a scruff, don't I? Scruff bag. Although when you weigh as much as I do, guys, nothing looks good, you know. Never let yourself go like I have. Never do it. Because it's fucking hard work to put it back. You're far too kind on Johnson, Sean. He was hiding against Newcastle, not coming to the ball and not making runs in behind either. Halfway house of nothingness. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, look, I'm not trying to be too kind on him. Like I say, my perspective is what am I used to from him, and in that, did he do more or less than that? And I think he did more than that. But I totally hear you. Oh yeah, have you seen this? We're bottom of the mood league. Have you seen this, guys? Let me get the thing. This is hilarious. I've got lots to talk about. I've been going quite a long time and I haven't even got into the other stories yet. Excuse me, but let's have a look at this one. I'm not sure if you can argue with it, really. It's obviously subjective, but I don't know if you can argue with this. Where is it? Here we go. So, this is the Premier League happiness table by The Athletic. Sunderland at top of the table. You can understand why, right? Massively outperforming, playing fantastically well. Arsenal second, you can understand why, right? Probably on a free run to the title for the first time in years for them. Chelsea looking good finally after all that spend. Villa again, another great performance. It's that game last night. Gee whiz, unbelievable. Aston Villa. I knew it would be a great game. We spoke about this on Football Link. I said there's goals galore in that one. Didn't know it was going to be that much of an absolute belter of a game though. And then Brentford. I'm surprised Brentford are there because I don't know. Like Brentford are doing well considering their situation, but they're not smashing it out of the park, are they? But they're doing well. But they're relatively happy. Brighton's fine. Nottingham Forest. I don't know why Nottingham Forest are I don't think they're that happy, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's correct. City 8th, Newcastle 9th, Fulham 10th, United 11th, 12th Bournemouth. And then as you get down, you see Tottenham bottom of the table, Liverpool 15th. I can understand Wolves being where they are because obviously they didn't expect probably a relegation battle this year, probably. I can understand Tottenham fans being where they are. I can understand. But Leeds and Burnley, I don't know. I feel like they're about where they thought they were probably going to be, right? Liverpool, I would expect to be lower than that, to be honest. I would expect Liverpool fans to be about 18th. Let me know your thoughts. What are you saying, guys? What are you saying? Surprised they didn't have Stell as the pick. Hi, Sean. Love the show. What happened to Rabbit Hole Ramblings? No, sorry. Yeah, sorry, mate. Just last night was it was supposed to be Tuesday night. Then the football obviously took priority. Had to do that. And it was supposed to be last night, but then I had 1,000 things on yesterday. And I didn't do any shows at all, mate. I didn't do a show on this channel, on Football Inc. or Sean Butler TV or anything. So we're back tomorrow night, and we will make up the additional show. We will make up the additional show. Amazing how everyone loves Rabbit Hole Ramblings. Big up to you, Henderson, Taiwan. Hendrays, Taiwan. Yeah, we're back tonight. But we're back tomorrow night for Rabbit Hole, and I will make up the show. Afternoon, Voxaholic. Big up to you. You're a happy Spurs fan. That table is fabrication. I'm not sure if it's the fan base or if it's the clubs. I don't know what it doesn't really give too much context. Don't know. Tell you what would make me very happy, guys, if you could smash the like button and double check you're still subscribed. Tom says he's 17th. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't look good, does it? But listen, like I say, I think if Tottenham Hotspur, if the club put on a good show against Brentford, Brentford, by the way, are in good form. They're in good form, and Igor Thiago's a nightmare. He's a handful, isn't he? Then I would say if we put on a good show, things can turn around pretty quickly. But if we don't on Saturday afternoon, then problems. You know. And I'm not sure if Thomas Frank can survive another home defeat before Christmas. How many other games? What's our next fixture? Let's have a look. Tottenham fixtures. So we've got. Let's have a look at this, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one, right? How many have we got? We've got Brentford at home, Slavia Prague, with Sonny's coming back. So they're definitely going to fill out the stadium for the first time. That's a bit clever, isn't it, by the way? Bit clever. Right. They bring in Sonny to make sure that there's a full stadium of all the Korean girls will be back. Maybe I'll go and meet my Korean Helga on Tuesday the 9th. Then we're Forest away. Difficult game. I think we'll get something out of Forest away personally. I would go to that game expecting us to win generally. So I'm expecting us to do okay there. And then we got Tottenham Liverpool. That could be El Sacico, couldn't it? Let's be honest. That could be El Sacico for the Premier League for both of those managers. He didn't win last night either. 1-1. You know, Florian Wirtz not robbed, but didn't get his final goal. So we got 3 more games at the stadium this year. And then Brentford away on New Year's. That's interesting, isn't it? Oh, they must flip the fixtures around, do they? What do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon? What are we saying in the next? So let's just focus on the Premier League for a second. The Premier League. How many points out of the next 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2 games against Brentford, home against Liverpool, away to Forest, and away to Palace. I'm saying 3. Well, what we should be looking for is 3. I would take. Do you think 9 points is reasonable? Do you think 9 points is reasonable? Biggie Spurs is saying all 15. Biggie, yeah. It is a pretty easy set of fixtures, isn't it? Like Crystal Palace by then will have lost Ismail Sarr as well. So they'll be a little bit damaged by the African Cup of Nations. Just watched my YouTube review of 2025, and out of 1,068 different channels I watched, guess who was my most watched? Voxaholic. Man, that's awesome, bro. First of all, you're subscribed to 1,068 different channels, or you've watched 1,068 different channels. Bloody hell. I appreciate your attention, my man. I really do. That's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Do you work from home? I'm guessing you work from home. 1,068 different channels. 8 or 9 points. 10 points for Daniel. What's that? 7 points for Tom. 10 points for RM828 on TikTok. Less than 9 should equate to his P45, says Suko. 6 looks possible, says Scott. I was like, listen, Scott, I know we've always had like sort of beef, not beef in the past, but all that stuff. But I actually kind of admire your general, no matter what else is going on, Scott is Scott. You can always trust Scott to come in with a pessimistic viewpoint. And you know what, man, you're right. You've been right at the moment, haven't you? You've been right for sure. Look at you, Sean, having a life outside of YouTube. Oh, how the other half live. No, I was literally just doing work where it was admin, like taxes and fucking moving money around and going to the bank, going to the doctors. It wasn't fun. It wasn't a nice day, Patch. I promise you that, mate. You can never look too far ahead, says Foxy. Big up to you, Foxy. I thought City and Everton would beat us, and we beat you the other night. Oh, and you would beat us the other night. The complete opposite happened. Yeah. I agree with that. I thought Everton were going to lose to you guys comfortably. Oh, sorry. I thought Everton were going to beat you guys at home comfortably. And I thought City were going to beat you. But weird. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Weird what goes on in football. You're late to the show, Alex. What have you missed? Not too much. I mean, I haven't really. I've been chatting to you guys for the last 45 minutes. There's a couple of stories. So I've talked about Foxy. I'd like to ask you, mate. You're a man who knows a man about a man, or a kid about a kid, without sounding weird. What's your thoughts on Yan Diomande? Do you rate him? I rate him. I was saying to the guys, I don't know if you were here from the start, Foxy, but at the start of the show, I was talking about the fact that Tottenham and Liverpool are prioritising him. It seems like most of the chat are not really interested in another kid at Tottenham. They want to bring in someone, more mature and Prem proven. And look, if I've seen lots of Liverpool fan channels that are like, that have like, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, like the sort of football bros on there, the kind of people that know everything or think they do. And they were saying that they'd rather have Diomande than Semenyo because they think that there's more sort of time on the side or whatever, and that maybe Salah's not finished yet, etc. What I'm happy about is that I thought for the longest time that the obvious options for transfers for wingers in January was, are there going to be a difficult battle to get Ndiaye out of Everton, a difficult challenge to get or to justify signing Malik Fofana because he's injured or he has been injured, even though Lyon are in trouble financially, an almost impossible task, a Herculean task it would take to get Kenan Yildiz out of Juventus. Adamola Lookman has the problems with not knowing whether he's a good guy or not, whether he's focused all the time. Is he a ticking time bomb? Semenyo, which is obviously the most sought after hot property, and maybe Antonio Nusa. They're the kind of 5 or 6 different players. But now this Yan Diomande apparently is available, even though he's only been at RB Leipzig for 6 months. It adds another kind of thing. Do they want £100 million? Do they? Oh, forget it then. But he is a to me, from what I've seen of him, and again, I know you're going to all throw at me the fucking gift all ban, you bastards. For me, I rate him. I think he has got a touch of everything about him. I think he's got a little bit of the Doku about him. I think he's got a little bit of the Rafinha about him. I think he's just a really, really interesting player. Daryl says, out of all the Spurs channels, this one's the best. Big up, Sean. But I'll be up to you, Daryl. I appreciate that, man. That's very nice of you, buddy. Very, very nice of you. G Mingu is saying 9 points and some better performances. Just looked at Martin Walton's looked at his review. Spurs Talk Show came 3rd above Rogan. Rogan doesn't put out as much content as me, though, does he? But what he does put out is most of the time. I wish I could get Elon Musk on the channel just occasionally. I'd like to know who your number 1 and number 2 is. I don't work at all. I'm retired. Queens don't have to work, says Queen Ellie. Nice. Congratulations on a A retirement well earned. Good to see you. Is Nico Williams still a possibility? Haven't heard too much lately. Do you know what, Biggie? I don't know if Nico Williams is worth all the. He to me. I put him in the same bucket as I put Rafael Leao. Like everyone thinks that they're golden boys. Like I don't. Rafael Leao for me, I've seen him put in some absolute stinkers. Like when he's on, when he's fired up, when he's in the right mood, or when everything just goes his way, he's unplayable. You know, but all too often he goes missing. And Nico Williams last season, and remember how much he gets paid also at Atletico Madrid because at Bilbao, because Bilbao have that kind of that policy, right, where they're not allowed to, you know, they can only bring players in that are from the Basque region or that have played for a Basque club or whatever. I'm not sure of the specifics, but it basically filters out like 90% of footballers. And so when one of them comes up that's a monster, then they need to keep hold of him. He signed was it a 10-year deal he signed or something, an 8-year deal, 9-year deal, something. But then he hasn't been that great this season. And this is so often the case, isn't it? So often the case. Like, how often do we talk about players that play brilliantly, then they get a nice big long-term contract where they're then settled? Like they know that they're earning, let's say he gets 10 million a year and it's a 10-year deal. He knows he's got 100 million quid, right? He's set, his family's set. Does that kind of, I don't know, the kind of the jeopardy of your future, once that's gone, do you then just kind of settle in a little bit? I don't know. Let's do a couple more super chats, shall we, guys? Daniel Fields put another super sticker, mate. Choo choo to you, Daniel. Choo choo to you. But I'm not sorry, I did it. You, buddy. Appreciate you very much indeed, mate. Thank you very much for your support. Always here, always supporting. And Patch has said, is that James? Well, it's not. It's you, isn't it? That's you in the picture. When I first saw that from the Zoned Out, I thought that was a little bit. I thought you had James Maddison. You got a bit of Maddison vibes about you, Patch. He said, my favourite show on YouTube, Rabbit Hole Rambling, second. I appreciate you, man. I work from home and spend far too much time watching you and not working. Keep up the good work, pal. I appreciate you, Patch, man. Thank you very much for your support. And yeah, don't ever take your foot off the gas with your work, mate. This is actually how I started getting into content. Is that I was spending all day long watching it, and then, but I only recently discovered it. Like not recently, at the time, it was December of. It was about this time 4 years ago. 2021, December 2021, I think it was, and I just discovered that YouTube, Tottenham YouTube, I'd never even thought that it was a thing, and I found We Are Tottenham TV, spent a lot of time watching it when I should have been working, and then phoned up, became a member, joined a pre-match pump-up show that the Irish Hotspur was. It was the Burnley game. The Burnley game that was snowed off, if you remember, like 4 years ago, and I was the last guy to call in. And then because as I was calling in, the game got cancelled. We just decided to go, rather than having like a 10-minute chat, we ended up having like a 45-minute blazing argument, me and Dave. And it's my first ever appearance on the show, and I'd probably had a few beers knowing me. And I was like, just fuck it, I'm just going to go in here. And it's about Daniel Levy, and he was like, you know, we sort of went toe to toe, and then I felt horrendous because all the people in the chat were like, "Who's this fucking prick? Who's this fat cunt? Fuck him off." and I wasn't aware of any of that stuff. I watched the show back, saw it all, and I was like, "Oh no, what have I done? I must have acted like a complete donut." So I reached out to Dave, and I said, "I'm sorry if I ruined your show." He's like, "First of all, it's not my show. I'm just doing. I step in for them before the games." He goes, "You were brilliant. If you want to come on my channel." So then I went on the Irish Hotspur, did that for like a couple of weeks, and then about a week after that, I was like, oh, "Fuck this! I love this too much." And that was the history. That was it. That was the day Sean was born on YouTube. Yeah. I can't believe my first ever appearance on a show to talk on YouTube was a blazing argument, funnily enough. And guess who it was about? Daniel Levy, funnily enough. You know? And I didn't even like Daniel Levy that much, but I'm just a contrarian. I guess. Are you saying someone's good, are you? I'm going to find a reason to say why they're bad. Now listen up. Thank God you're not Chris Cowlin. I don't know, Chris. I've met him once or twice. I met him outside Luton. He's always seemed all right to me. A lot of people sort of love him. A lot of people think I don't like. I guess it's like anything, isn't it? If you've got opinions, you're going to piss people off. I say that to Sava all the time, mate. Sava gets obviously a little bit upset sometimes when the chat just like, go after him when he's just making points that he thinks are fact based or whatever. And I'm like, mate, like, for everyone that dislikes you, there's 5 people that love you. Otherwise, your channel wouldn't be as popular as it is. But I also think you have to have you need to have strong opinions. If you're just vanilla, if you just don't say anything that's important, like you don't say anything that's controversial because you don't want to offend anybody, then you're not gonna make it, are you? If you want to do this sort of thing and make it go somewhere, then you have to put yourself out there and be prepared for people to say fuck you, so it is what it is. But I love Sava. I love Irish Hotspur. Have you seen Dave? You noticed how Dave's got a little bit spicy this year? He's got a lot spicier. I like whenever I stream with him, I say, "Oh, fucking Dave's having a little crack at someone." He seems a little bit more fuck you. I love it. I love that version of him. I went on his channel a few weeks ago for like a pre-match show, and he came at me. And I was like, What are we doing here? What are we doing here? He's like, no, don't put fucking words in our mouth, Sean. I was like, okay. I didn't know we were doing this. Fantastic. Yeah, I love it. I need to get him on. I need to get him back on the show more. What's Adam saying? I do agree with you, Ulrika. Oh, that's right, Adam. You wanted to become a mod, didn't you? Let me make you a mod. Sorry, mate. I need you as a mod, yeah. Where are you? I also think that this... Hang on, why can't I see anyone's... What's going on here? There we go. Ulrika should be a mod. She's been around these parts a long time. I think Sully... Definitely needs some more moderators. Yeah, let's add some moderators, shall we? Let's give out some moderator status to people I'm familiar with long enough. All right, just use your power wisely, people. Use your power wisely. Okay. I often get told that the chat's out of control. And I was like, I don't really look at it too much when I'm hosting a show. So yeah, there we go. All right, I'll add some more later on. But there's some people I think that I recognise. I know you guys a long time, so and you as well, mate. Johnson, you're always on football. You're always on Football Link, aren't you, mate? There we go. Cool. I'll add some more later on as well. See, Flex Chill. I don't know you enough, mate. I don't know you. I don't see you enough, buddy. So no disrespect, mate. I'm sure you're a great guy, but the people I've just made moderators, I see every time I go live. So Jack says of 1155 channels watched, you were second with Sava third, and we are Tottenham fourth. Come on! Who was number one though, Jack? Who was number one? Give us the real detail. Give us the real insights. Who was number one? Josh said, I went on We Are Tottenham TV once a few years ago. I was about 15. I never went back on a show since. Nerves got the better of me. Mate, I tell you what, if you're about 18 years old now and you're watching my channel, you probably are the youngest channel. You probably, I look at my analytics occasionally, and I think the average age of the viewer on my channel is about 45. I don't have many people in that kind of 18 to 30 category. So well, nice to see some young guns in the house, mate. But yeah, dude, if you ever want to come on here, don't be nervous. I won't make you nervous, mate. Don't let nerves get the better of you in life, buddy. My advice to you, if you're young coming up, act as if you've got a 10-inch cock, right? Act as if you drive a Ferrari. Act as if you, you know, the boss or whatever you do. People don't care. People you get into your own mind. You get into your own mind that people are watching you, thinking about you, judging you, that they're analyzing you as much as you are analyzing them. But just remember that you don't judge other people the way that you judge yourself, right? Like you don't think about them every day, so they aren't thinking about you either. So just like, even if you don't have the confidence, act as if you do. Act as if. It's the most, the 3 words that I learned a long time ago. And eventually you won't need to act anymore. It will become natural, you know? So I wish someone told me that when I was 18. I didn't learn it until I was about 25. But why would I act as if my cock was 2 inches shorter than it is? Fucking brilliant. That is sensational. That is sensational, Tim. Well done. Yeah, man. Let me message me on Twitter, bro. DM me on Twitter or something, or on Instagram, and then we can sort it out, bro. That is fucking brilliant, Tim. Rob, you're 72, are you? No, you're not. I don't think you're the oldest. I think, well, I think it's 20% of 25% of whatever it is, people above the age of 65. So yeah, you're somewhere in there, man. But like, dude, love it, mate. Love it, Rob. You want to come on, mate? Same rules, buddy. Tim, that is fucking brilliant, by the way, mate. Absolutely love it. Anyway, let's get into. I've been going for an hour and I haven't even bloody done the news, views, and clues yet. Gee whiz, let's have a look at this one. We've got an awesome story about. I've done this one, haven't I? I've done this one already. Sorry, not this one. We've done the Diomande. We now need to talk about Conor Gallagher. So Conor Gallagher is apparently on Tottenham's radar, according to. Where's the links? The link is this is from Football Fancast, but it's actually talking about stories from. I can't remember where it's coming from. Caught offside, is it? But apparently, according to one Spanish outlet, the Englishman is available for a fee in the Is it on the screen? Have I got it on the screen? Yes, I have. What are we doing here? Yeah, so we're trying to find our new Dembele, according to this report, and that Conor Gallagher's the guy. What? Let me know your thoughts on Conor. I don't know if I fancy Conor Gallagher, to be honest. I don't really. I don't mind him, but I don't think he's like a needle mover, is he? Like, does he really get us to the next level? In your opinion, does he really get us to the next level? I'm not sure. Bugsy is the GOAT. Flowers, no, he looks older, but isn't, I'm sure. I love watching when you are a one-man band, as you're very entertaining, funny, and know your shit. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, Ellie. Appreciate you, miss. Careful, Sean. This could be misconstrued as grooming. Well, add it to the list of other problems people have got with me. Honestly, the amount of shit I get sent. The amount of fucking shit I get sent. People complain about my drinking on stream. People complain about me vaping on stream. People complain about me shouting at Bugsy Malone when she's barking too much. And when I do my walks and talks, people complain about having. I've literally had emails about having Jewish people on my channel. I've had complaints about having Muslim people that have of a Muslim faith on my channel. I've had every fucking thing thrown at me, and my answer to every single one of them is, go fuck yourself. You're not controlling my channel. Go watch somewhere else. And then I'd tell them politely that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I've had people wanting to be. Oh yeah, I've got someone wants to come and join us. Yeah, come on in, Flower. Let's go. James Flower wants to come on and say hello. Yeah. Yeah, people. When I remember that it got peak. It got so bad when Tottenham failed to get Eberechi Eze. Got so bad, right? I had people like 5 or 6 different people, 5 or 6 different people that wished my dog would get hit by a truck. You know, fucking outrageous. 1 second, guys. Look who it is. Look who it isn't. It's Jimmy Boy Flower. How are you?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. What's going on?
Good. Not much, mate. To be fair, I've been ill the last 2 days, so I booked an easy day in for today, and I finished already. So I thought, what better way than to spend it with you, mate? Eh?
Well, I appreciate it. Where you drive? Are you outside your house, or are you out? Or are you, like,
Well, I'm just currently stopped for McDonald's, so I've just eaten McDonald's.
You've had your McDonald's, have you?
Yeah.
How are you not a fat git if you have things like McDonald's for lunch every day?
Every day? It's once. What do you mean every day?
Well, like, what do you normally take out for lunch when you're on the road? Do you take a packed lunch with you?
Yeah, I'm normally pretty good. I'll take some sort of pasta or something, but it's only because I was ill for 2 days. I just thought, no, that sounds like McDonald's. So it was planned.
What did you have? A Big Mac?
I had Big Tasty.
Okay.
Approval or not?
I don't really eat McDonald's. To be honest, I haven't. I've had probably 1 McDonald's in like 5 years. Not because I don't love them, but because I drink like most of my calories come from alcohol. You know, that's why I'm a fat bastard. If I would jump on the Wegovy or the Manjaro or whatever. I jump on all that shit in a heartbeat if it made me stop drinking. But like, I don't really eat that much. I don't really eat that badly. Like I just drink. You know, so. But like for me, McDonald's, there's no McDonald's that's close enough.
That's good
to get delivery. Like one of them is Woking up the road, which is like it'd probably be stone cold by the time it would get here. And there's Walton on Thames, and there's no other McDonald's around here. And actually, to be entirely honest, I was thinking about reaching out to McDonald's and saying I found a spot. Like, what's the situation for like a drive-through? Because I think it would make a fucking fortune.
Yeah,
I think it would make a fortune, right? But apparently, if you want to set up your own McDonald's, you have to actually work at the company for a few years, and like,
do you?
I think so.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Like franchise and stuff. You have to work there.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how it works. I'm not sure though, to be honest. But
so when you rock up tomorrow with your McDonald's at, we know where you're going.
100%, mate. 100%. Listen, let me ask this, mate. What do you think about Diomande?
Nah, not for me.
No,
not for me. I've seen clips, and the clips look good. But look, I know you're not going to like this, but I've seen clips of Odegaard where he looks good, but he's just not good enough now. Look, I think the likes of Odegaard, Berghvall, I'm harsh on them now because I don't judge them for their age. I judge them for how they perform on the pitch. And I feel like this kid all the fans will then go, yeah, but he's young. And then I feel like we've just added a Mikey Moore, Odegaard, Berghvall, Gray, because it's always going to be, oh, he's young. I don't want that now. I want someone, whether he's 15 or 30, I want somebody that's going to kind of come into the squad and be that man. And that's what I think we need.
Did you see it? Did you see him play at Leganzi?
Not religiously, to be honest.
Well, sorry, Leganés. I don't know how you say the Spanish. You speak Spanish? I don't speak Spanish. I don't know how you say that. CD Leganese, I think it is. But this kid, mate, he was like, imagine Burnley backs against the wall, right? But they have Jeremy Doku on the left wing. That's how it looked to me.
But that's exactly what Odegaard did, no?
Yeah. But this guy, yeah, well, and that's why you're wrong about Odegaard for a start.
I just feel I feel like the fan base are very, very fragile at the moment. Very fragile, wrongly or rightly. I just think they need a couple of superstars or very good talents proven to come in to pick the morale up.
Okay, so let me spin it then. If Liverpool fans are waxing lyrical about Diomande, are you happy for them to get him if that means that they're not going to get him and a Semenyo? Does that mean that it gives us a slightly better chance of getting Semenyo? Are you happy with that?
Well, I suppose it depends on who comes in or if we get Semenyo, doesn't it? If it means he goes Liverpool, we get Semenyo, absolutely.
You're fine with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, look, the ceiling or the bar or whatever could be as high as it wants. we actually need players for now. Like we do need players for now. Otherwise, we're going to stay where we are in a position, and it's going to kind of be like, well, in a couple of years he could be good. Also, if we're thinking sort of long term, I would like, for example, Semenyo's the flavour of the month. Someone like him to come in, and then he could learn. Then Odegaard could learn off of Semenyo. Then you've kind of got a bit of like, oh, okay, this is what you do, right? I'll try that. Oh, I'll learn that, and kind of improve. Whereas at the moment, I think the problem is Odegaard's there, and he's like, oh, does this work? Don't this work? And it's all right being coached, but when you've got someone better than you, I think you naturally kind of follow what they do and get tips and trips. And I think that we need a proven left winger, proven striker, and a proven number 8 for Berghvall and Gray to learn off of.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Listen, I want to move the story towards the man at Brighton fame, Van Hecke, who Tottenham have been apparently massively linked with. But before I do that, guys, as you know, this channel doesn't pay for itself, and so I have to drop a little advert break here. And I've shown it a few times to you guys. But if you are trying to commemorate this season with a Christmas present, then maybe silver might be the way to do it. Just watch this video for a couple of minutes and we'll get straight back into the football.
2025 has been an unforgettable year for Tottenham Hotspur fans as we saw our fantastic club lift its first European trophy in over 40 years. To celebrate our achievement, Tottenham Hotspur have partnered with The Coin Company, a precious metals specialist, to offer fans the chance to commemorate and remember our achievement by owning a limited edition 1-ounce silver bar. Beyond the aesthetics, silver is considered a fantastic inflation hedge, as well as being a key component in the manufacture of microchips for the AI revolution that we are all experiencing. And whilst this is not investment advice, there are plenty of reasons why you would want to own silver right now. So why not consider getting one of these for yourself or for a loved one this Christmas time? Only 2025 will ever be sold. And if you use code Sean at checkout, then not only will you receive 10% off the purchase price, you will also be entered into a prize draw where one lucky winner will win a 1-ounce silver bar with the special certificate of authentication code 1882, representing the year our great club was founded. So click the link in the comments or the description and it will take you to the Spurs website where you can find more information. And from there, if you click to purchase, it will take you to the Coin Company website where if you enter code Sean at checkout, you will receive that 10% discount and be entered into that prize draw. So make sure you commemorate this fantastic year with a fantastic lifelong present for yourself or a loved one.
Appreciate you guys for listening to that. What do you think, mate? You going to get yourself a silver bar?
Always wanted a bit of silverware, you know. Levy's gone.
Now that Levy's gone, is it more difficult to throw shade towards anywhere other than the football players, the football and the manager?
I mean, we've spoken loads of times about Levy. For me, I wasn't massive Levy out. Levy's like all of the problems. I thought he was 30, 40, 50% of the problem, to be honest. Levy, Enoch, and managers at times, to be honest. Because I know, I mean, kind of going sideways a bit here, I know a lot of people are talking about Pochettino and stuff like that, but let's not forget when he did get to finals with good squads, who would put Son left back and so on and so on. So I don't always blame Daniel Levy for everything. I blame him for potentially not having the right scouts, being advised correctly with players, not spending when I feel like he could have spent, or pushed the boat out when he could have pushed the boat out. But look, I don't believe that he's gone anyway, to be honest. I think like he's been eliminated from his role, but him and Joe Lewis and stuff are still around talking to each other. This is what's best for business.
Yeah.
Because if you own a company,
you think he's still very much pulling the strings?
I don't know about pulling the strings, but if you own 30% of the company, you still have rights and things. You still have where is my money going and investments. So him and Joe Lewis, regardless if it's just the kids, they still have fingers in pies. It's not like a goodbye forever, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Oh, well, let's move away from him, mate. Let's talk about Van Hecke, right? Left-sided, left-footed centre-back. I think he's a class player. I think he'd be fantastic. He's Prem proven. Right, he plays in an attractive model. He gets back. He's strong. He's big. He's fairly rapid as well. I think he's organised and disciplined. Like he's just one of these. He's like a no nonsense kind of. Doesn't make too many mistakes. I'd like to see him come in. And I think that if you bring in a player that's starting quality, then if you want to just keep him in rotation, fair enough. It also allows you to do more things with Micky van der Ven than we currently are. What's your take on that one, mate?
So I'm going to sound a bit kind of flip-floppy here, to be honest.
No shot.
I don't want another centre back. I think it's a waste of money.
We have a flip-flop. Everyone changes their mind, like they didn't say that last time. We have a flip-flop, trying to erase the past. Well, buddy, you're having a laugh.
Go on then.
You're a dick. No, you didn't let me finish either, so that's not very fair. So when it comes to young players and a centre back, we've already got one that's tearing up the Bundesliga, to be honest. So why are we going to spend more money on another centre back when we'll have 4 in Van der Ven, Dragusin, Danso, Romero, plus is it Vuskovic, who's absolutely tearing up Bundesliga? So that's 5. Why do we need more than 5 when we need people in midfield? We need wingers. We need attackers. For me, it's
and we got Kota Takai. Everyone's forgot about him.
Which is, we don't know what's going on with him yet, but I presume he'll just go out on loan once these magical foot injuries recovered.
Apparently, he's finally on the. I think he played a few minutes in some behind closed doors friendly against.
What did he have, like ingrowing toenail or something?
Listen, I don't know. Whoever it was, I think it was Lubo that knows. Like Lubo knows the weirdest stats and facts, right? Like you ask him, how many games did we play in, like in March of 2022, Lubo, and he's like 7. We, okay.
He'll go to his program. He goes to his program behind, and he goes, right. No, he didn't play that day yet.
He also knows all about that fucking injury, whatever it is, Placiatus or whatever it's called.
Okay.
And he was like, no, that's a chronic injury. And because he said it when he joined, as soon as he joined, and everyone was like, okay, I don't know much about this kid. And he was like, if he's got that injury, you won't see him for months. And he was right. It's not often I get to say that Lubo was right, but he was right about the injury,
Yeah.
So, I don't know. And we've got Dragusin coming back as well. Do you think Dragusin's going to be able to get into this squad?
No, but that's exactly my point. I don't think that we can keep kind of signing players and expecting to continue. At some point, I want to improve the first team, to be honest. I really do. I want to stop catering for second string. I understand if he gets injured, there's going to be a big drop. We looked okay with Danso and Romero this week against Newcastle. So I don't know. Let's improve the first team first, and then we can work on that, to be honest. I think that's been the problem with Tottenham for so long, is that we kind of keep getting sidetracked and buying, well, this guy's going to come through. This guy's going to come through. He's going to come and sit on the bench, let's be honest, because Van der Ven's loved.
Yeah. True. Did I say Van Hecke was a left-footed, left-sided player? He isn't, is he?
Yeah.
He can play up the left, but he's a right-footed player. I think he can play on the other side because Lewis Dunk often plays on the left-hand side, doesn't he, for Brighton? So
again, then that means absolutely that is the most pointless transfer I've ever heard of. Then Danso, Romero, Dragusin, and Vuskovic, and then it becomes stupid. That's the biggest waste of money I've ever seen.
Who do you want to see come in then, Jan? What's your do you have expectations for January to be something? You
know who I want. I want Diomande. I would absolutely love Diomande. Quick, good on the ball, brilliant. Left, I'd play him left, and then you've got that cover if you ever need to go in up front. You've got that he can play across the whole front three. So for me personally,
he can.
And he's quality. He's still fairly young. And I would also, I would like someone like Diomande that is like quite direct, because I think you've got Kudos on the other side that always likes to beat his man. He likes to take an extra 2 or 3 touches. Whereas I don't think Adiem is like that. He's like, beat your man, deliver. Beat your man, get a shot off. He's quite, don't want to say like Heung Min Son, but he's got that natural first touch finish, first touch cross. He's quite good. But if we do go along that route, I want a big man up front. I want somebody that's tall, strong, good in the air. And I mean like dominant in the air. Yeah, so I'm quite open with the front line, to be honest. But like Ivan Toney, I know everyone said about him, but someone along that stature. And then I think it's imperative that we get a number 8, like a calm player that just wants to relax rather than panic all the time.
Would you go all out to try and sign a player like Carlos Baliba? We keep being linked with him. I can't imagine Tottenham are going to do it, but would you drop 100 million quid on Carlos Baliba? He hasn't even had that good of a season.
No, he's had a shocking season. Well, he's didn't the manager actually come out and say that his head's been turned? I'm sure he come out and said something like, "Oh, he hasn't been as good this season. His head's been turned."
Something like that, yeah. A lot of players.
So
I think you could throw the same. They've got to be careful with head turnings, right? Because look at Konate, right? He's talked himself. He's played himself out of a position, out of a transfer. Real Madrid have said, "Nah, not interested." Yeah. I don't think I would like this version of Konate. I wouldn't want him. I think he's absolutely terrible this year for Liverpool. Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. You know? He's a bit of a donkey. What about? I mean, ambitious, very ambitious. But what about like Tchouaméni or Valverde? Because they're not getting many minutes. So I know a lot of people go, "They're too good for us," but we did say the same for like Van der Vaart and stuff. You know, those players that are good enough to play for them, but they don't really get in. So what about someone like? Is there a possibility if the owners are going to go big? Could we get like a Tchouaméni or a Valverde or you know?
Yeah, I'd bite your hand off for them.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would you? But you. Here's my question, mate. Like if Tottenham play, like Tottenham fans are always, myself included, guilty of looking at things in the isolation and then going, now we've done that, we're all good again. We put in a decent shift against PSG. Obviously, we were eventually overcome by the best European champions. And it's like, okay, well, that's great. Now just take that, like even the kind of the middle of the ground people, like just take that performance. We lost, fair enough, but like move it now and go and do it against Fulham, and we didn't. We go and do Newcastle. We put in, I don't think we played well, particularly. I don't think Newcastle played well either. It was a bit of a weird game, but it was, we were robbed, in my opinion, robbed for that penalty. And then we fought back and got a second goal. The weirdest, sloppiest, most disgustingly bad, but also brilliant overhead kick I've ever seen, And then if we don't do it against Brentford, if we turn up and play terribly against Brentford and the fans get on their back again, same sort of toxicity. The conversation afterwards will be about the fans again. If you're someone else that's looking and the agent picks up the phone and says, "Hey, by the way, I know you're not enjoying it at Real Madrid. Do you want to go to Tottenham?"
Yeah, no, obviously.
If you think you're going to get booed, like, are you walking into a fucking toxic cesspit? I don't know, mate. Like, what's your thoughts?
Well, no, I agree, to be honest. But at some point, it's going to have to change. There's going to be some sort of Frank selling chat. He could say, "Look, the reason we're playing like this is because we don't have a Valverde or Tchouaméni or whoever." But yeah, I was actually thinking of this this morning. I don't think I've ever been so disconnected from Tottenham ever alive this season, and even more so than last season. And that's not to say I think we're better or worse or anything, but 2 seconds.
It's all right. Whilst he's gone, I'll do some super chats. Quickly. Ulrika ka ratata ka ka ka. You know what? I'll come back to them. About to do it, but if you're back now, you were gone.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Yeah. For me,
are you ordering a McFlurry or something? What were you doing?
No, he's come to the wrong window. I'm like, no, I ain't ordered nothing.
You always say yes in that environment, don't you? Yeah, no, I did. Yeah. And then as he's walking away, you go, "Hey, you forgot my ketchup." That really sealed the deal.
Yeah, for me, I've never been so disconnected from the club, and I've been offered. I mean, I live 2-3 hours away from the ground, and I've been offered tickets pretty much every week to go with my son. And normally I'd bite your arm off, but I've actually been like, nah, it's not worth it. And I don't even know why. I just feel like poison chalice, boring football. I'm just not interested. So, and I don't have to. I mean, you've got a season together, haven't you? And
yeah, but I haven't been. I haven't been for the last 4 home games.
Yeah, but I don't have to pay for that. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that, and I'm not paying for any of this. Or whereas I just feel like it's getting to that point where I'm just like, I've lost interest.
Lugo had the audacity. Lugo had the audacity to reach out to me, and then he eventually put it on my chat saying, "My son's got a ticket to the Slavia Prague game. If anyone wants it, full price, whatever it's 89 quid or something." And I said, I was like, "What are you doing, like, mate?
Who's paying that? Yeah."
Like, people are giving their tickets away for fucking free on Twitter, and you're trying to get full price from someone. Like, get the fuck out of here, Lugo.
Yeah.
What are we doing it?
Yeah, but it is like that, isn't it? And I do feel at the moment it's like I'm not interested in going for free. It's not worth me getting petrol, and I know that sounds so bad, but it's just not. And that is where I think we'll struggle to sign players unless something changes. I think we're gonna then have to go for like the young lads, like you're saying, rather than Adiemi, Ivan Toney's, any of these guys.
You just put the fucking money down, right?
Well, within reason, though, doesn't it?
Are all people, like, they're all human beings? They're still going to go,
but within reason, aren't they?
Where they're getting paid up.
Yeah, but if say for example Elliot from Forest, well, I'd love him. I think he's a top player. But if we go, right, yeah, we're interested in Elliot, are you going to tell us no one in the top half of the table that is going to be interested for the same sort of money?
Well, that's why you have to go. For me, I think that's where you sit there and go, right, we'll reach out and we'll speak to the agent and say, listen, if we were to put in a bid that Forest can't refuse, whatever it is, right? If he's valued at 60, you go his 80, 75, whatever, plus kickers. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to make you £210,000 a week, 200 grand a week. Like, are Tottenham in a position now where the only way you're going to be able to go and attract the top players is if you literally don't negotiate, you don't haggle, you just go and say, listen, I'm going to come at you with one price. It's going to be the best we're going to do. Best and final. Yes or no. Don't come back and negotiate. This is it. But we're going to make you an offer that's miles above asking price. And we're also going to pay the money and then hopefully you just blow other people out the water. Like, is that where we're at now? And if so, are these owners, whether they're the new iteration of the same thing as we've gone before, Levy's out the way. So Levy would never have been able to sit there and say, I can't negotiate. He's just not built that way. But maybe Vinay or Paratici can be a little bit more convivial in that regard.
Yeah, so I also feel like the biggest selling point could be the fact that Daniel Levy's gone. And not because Daniel Levy's gone, but because Daniel Levy's gone. and in that, by that I mean nothing to do with Daniel Levy, but it's like, look, we've got rid of the bad guy. We're prepared to spend loads of money. This is where we want to go in the future. Elliot, whoever you want in. We're prepared to throw money at it. We want to build a squad that's going to win now. And that's what I mean by they've almost got an excuse. I saw I think it was Johnny and Stel and stuff saying that on Spurs 5 that they've got a free get out of jail card with Frank, saying this was Levy's manager, blah blah blah. I think that they've got the same with spending. I think they've got a transfer window or two to say, look, he was holding us back financially as well. Now he's gone, we can spend what we want and we're prepared to spend big. So, but again, that's going to run out after 1 or 2 windows. So it's a matter of
you have to get it right, don't you? You can't piss around. You have to get whoever the next 3 signings are, they have to be. And if 2 of them coming in January, loans not so much, but if you go out and spend and drop a bollock on a massive player, massive name, and you really go out of your way to make it work. It can't just be ambition on the name. It has to be well thought through, and it also has to be in line with some sort of plan. And I guess the other stumbling block within that is if Thomas Frank's going to have his say on whether or not, Thomas Frank clearly wanted Savio, right? That was his guy. We couldn't get it done. We tried. We went back in 4 or 5 times with serious money, and I'm kind of glad that it didn't work out because I don't think that Savio is is as good as 70 million quid, 70 million pounds worth of money. Personally, do you?
Depends on what 70 million quid's worth of money is nowadays, doesn't it? I mean, we signed Johnson for 50 odd, Richalison, Slanky. So in Tottenham's money, it's probably worth more than 70 to your general club. Probably not.
Have you seen him do anything this season when he's come off the bench?
No, not this season. But I did see a lot of him before he went to City, and he was absolutely lighting the Spanish league up, like lighting it up. He was phenomenal. And because he's still quite young, I think he could be kind of molded into one of those players that kind of take off. He just needs like an arm around the shoulder, if you like. But I think there's definitely, if you've got somebody like him on the left and Kudos on the right, you have to double up on both. So without them even doing anything, right, okay, there's problems.
If you went and said 110 million quid, the entire January budget on Adam Wharton, would you do it? Not knowing that this season's in all likelihood a bit of a write-off. You're not going to get relegated, but you're probably not going to be in the you're not going to win the Europa League, the Champions League, and then obviously by the summer you hopefully have a little bit more money again to go and get the left winger.
Does anyone else come in?
No, I'm saying if you could get maybe Wharton, and then just Wharton. If you could just get Wharton right now, but it costs you 100 million quid, would you do it?
Yeah. I think I will. Purely because I think we've got 3 major problems. And if we solve one in January, it only leaves 2 major problems to solve in the summer. And obviously with Kolo going back to PSG, we presume, because it's a loan. If he goes back to PSG, you're then obviously a striker short and a left winger short. So would you take Moani on the permanent in the summer? No, definitely not.
You don't rate him?
I think he's okay, but no, definitely not. He's not worth.
I think he's the best we've got in the forward line.
Absolutely. And that's not hard though, is it? I'd play Archie Gray up front over Richalison, to be honest. So that's not hard. But personally, I just don't think he's good enough. You know what? I feel like if we're going to go down this route of a Savio and a Kudos, you need a clinical, deadly finisher in front, because they're going to create spaces.
Who is that? I don't really know. Ivan fucking Toney, because Ivan Toney's not coming to Tottenham.
No, I don't. I don't know. I was quite a big fan of like Wissa, to be honest. I did want Wissa.
He's not available.
No, he's not. No, there ain't many out there. To be honest, there ain't.
I'll tell you the names that are obvious, right? The obvious options: Vlahovic, loads of question marks about him.
Yeah,
Jonathan David, loads of question marks about him. Francolino at Midtjylland, young, right? Apparently, if we're not interested in Jan Diomande, I'm guessing we're not interested in Francolino either. So we'll chalk him off. Samu, right, at Porto. He doesn't score goals against any other teams apart from Rio Ave and fucking bottom of the barrel sort of teams in Portugal that are essentially championship level teams. So he's not the guy. And you're going to drop 20 million quid to get him.
The 2 that I wanted in the summer is I thought we could have gone for Ramos from PSG because he's always on the bench.
Yeah, I'd fucking take. Oh, mate, I'd give that guy. I'd get down. I'm not even going to say it.
Let me just change my name to Ramos in the sun.
I do disgusting things.
But he doesn't play. So he doesn't play. So again, it's about being sort of smart. Him. And then I forgot his name, but I think he's just gone to Juventus on loan. Was it Juventus or RB Leipzig on loan?
Jonathan David?
No. He's rapid. He's just gone RB Leipzig, I think, maybe.
RB Leipzig strikers?
Yeah, it's either RB Leipzig or Juventus, I'm sure. He's on loan. Openda.
Oh, Lois Openda.
Yeah, Openda.
Yeah, he's quite.
Or what about the guy that's gone to Galatasaray, Victor Osimhen? Again, there's 3 there.
If you could go and get Victor Osimhen, then I would do disgusting things for that guy as well. Like he
Someone record this and send it over to him. Like, why should you join? Why should you join Spurs? Send him this. but but there's three there that I think would fall in our bracket if we push the budget out and the money. I think we could get all three of those.
Yeah, maybe Premier League, but Tottenham certainly have to push the boat out with their wages. Like, and this January, this is the thing on Spurs 5. We've been talking about this thing for a couple of weeks about this idea that ENIC have got like one free pass. The new iteration of ENIC have got one free pass because it was Levy signing Thomas Frank. So if if Frank doesn't work out, then they can sack him. And it's like it was. That's the old. Now we're going to bring in us from now on, and that's fine. But they also only have one window to prove their intent, right? Because they turned down the fucking DJ, and we don't know whether the DJ was sincere or legit or whatever. But we got to know the color of that guy's intentions, and he said he was going to put in him and his cohort. We're going to put in, 1.5 billion or whatever it was, right, into the club for working capital, like Todd Bowley sort of style money.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So. And then we go, no, we've got no intention of selling. Okay, fine. So you've now got to do something similar to the alternative. Now we know that there was an alternative, and there was 3 different versions of alternatives allegedly. One of them was obviously Staveley and her cohort. The other one was the Chinese group, Dr. Roger Kennedy, and the third was the DJ NASA bro, tech bro. All right, don't know if any of those guys know anything about football, but if they're putting 1.5 billion into the or 1 billion into the club outside of paying off all the other shit,
yeah,
where in it we're going to get a healthy like 27% above fair value, right? That's fine. But if you turn it down, then we now know what the alternative looked like, and so you now can't hide behind. It's all we can do. This club has to be sustainable. No, it doesn't. We don't have to like you or respect you. I always gave them the sort of benefit of the doubt, but now I know that there's alternatives out there. That's why I've kind of gone that direction, because now I know for a fact that there were 3 other potential options, that one of them, the color of their money was shown, and they turned it down. Cool. But I'm no longer going to defend you unless you represent something similar to what they were trying to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a fan talking more than a realistic debate, if I'm honest, because I would say exactly the same. Like, we've seen that XYZ is potentially going to be pumped in, but it's always going to be hyped up a little bit for what they're going to spend, and you automatically think players. But I mean, if they're making the money that they're making, they don't have to spend anything. They don't have to listen to me or you.
No, they don't have to.
But people would leave you out.
People like me would have defended them.
Yeah,
I defended them because I was like, sustainability, like the idea of working within your means is not something that is like disgraceful. That's really normal.
Didn't they just put 150 into the club as well? Did they not put 150 million?
They put 100 in November, in October. And they put 90 million, but that's just a payday loan, right? That's just like, that's not from them. That's just front running money now that they have to pay back later on in the season. So that's a wash. So they put in 100 million quid, and they've also said apparently there's more to come once the team recognise once they know what they need. Okay, so I don't expect another 100 million quid to be put in now, but we have seen an alternative that if Martin Lipton was correct in his scoop, that they wanted to put in 1 billion quid into working capital in the football club. Now, all of that isn't going to go to football, and it's not all that shit. I get it.
Yeah.
But there's a massive level of money that could have been injected.
Okay.
The Lewis kids have got money. They put 100 million in. Fine.
So if we
I need to see more between January and June, I need to see a fuck ton more so that we can. Otherwise, I can't defend you anymore, knowing what the game of knowing how the game has changed, and knowing that we could have gone in a different direction, but you said no. If you're saying no, it's still your club. You can do what you want with it, right? That's fine, but don't expect people like me that are reasonable to defend you if you're not showing the same ambition as what the alternative was looking to do.
So in January, if we signed Conor Gallagher on loan and Ivan Toney on loan, and that was it, what's your outcome? Because they're two good players, but it's only loan, no money spent.
I'm fine with that. I actually genuinely think that loan deals right now are probably better because I don't know if Thomas Frank's going to be the guy.
But in terms of spending money, when they've pumped in 100 million already, you're okay with them spending not a single penny.
Yeah, because that means that if Thomas Frank turns out to be the guy, and if Thomas Frank said, I'll take Ivan Toney, but the only way you can get him is on loan, and I'll take Conor Gallagher, right? And if those things come with options and that they were his decisions, and then if he turns it around, if he manages to get us to play some decent football and create decent outcomes, and we finish the season 7th or whatever else, and we sneak into the Europa League, and he wants to make those deals permanent, then the money will be there in the summer. But if it turns out that he's just not the right guy for Tottenham Hotspur, I don't want to spend 100 million quid because he has vetoed, for example, we could have signed Lookman and he said, no, I've got a no dickheads policy. I don't want him. And he vetoes that and says, I'll take someone else on loan.
Yeah.
Then that's cool. That's better, right? Because in the summer, then you go and give the new manager, whoever that is, whether that's Glasner or Xavi or whoever it is, you give him the 200 million quid in the summer and go, we're going to back you as much as you possibly can.
So I agree with that way of thinking, but then you've got to consider that we'd be losing those two, losing Mwani, losing Polinia. Bissouma's contract ends, so we lose Bissouma. There's a lot of players that then we kind of lose that you have to replace before then him upgrading. Like, Polinia's been probably our best player this season. So if we sign another 2 loans and they come in and become first team, you've now 4 first teamers down before potentially, looking to start again. And obviously it's good to say if there's options, but I believe the only way we're going to get those in is if we dangle the World Cup carrot in front of them. So if Conor Gallagher comes in and becomes our best player, for example, he's then going to have options elsewhere. He'll go, actually, I'm not going to go Tottenham there.
If you put an option in it that's club dependent rather than player dependent.
Yeah. Would they sign that though, with the way the position the club is at the moment?
Well, I don't know. It's a really good point. It's a really good point. What I definitely know is that World Cup year transfer windows are wild. Uh-huh. They're wild, right? Because a lot of people are scrambling for places. You get some crazy shit happening. It happened in 2021 in the summer because it was leading up to a Christmas World Cup in Qatar, and it was wild then as well. I think there'll be some wild stuff in January. Let me just quickly get these super chats. There's lots of super chats here. I haven't done them before. Ulrika, big up to you. Thank you so much indeed for the super sticker. Get out of the bath, dry your bits, pour yourself a G&T. We got football to discuss. Thank you very much, Ulrika. Appreciate you very much indeed. Paul Petty, big up to you, Paul. He says, afternoon, Sean. Great get show as always. I hope that says great. Thank you very much, my man. Appreciate you, Paul. Hope you're well, buddy. James is saying my gift Orban. I'm getting brutalized. Mr. Flower, in the chat today for gift Orban. You know what? Why put yourself out on a parapet? Why even have an opinion? You're only going to get murdered than the ones you get wrong. Big up to you, Queen Ellie. Big up to you, Queen. Big up to you, mate. How you doing, miss? Good to see you. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Appreciate you very much indeed. Ulrika's come back in as well. Says, can we add Bugsy Pick in place of Sava on Spurs 5? I think Bugsy's got a thing or two to say about a thing or two. I think she misses the camera a little bit. She's sulking quite a lot, but it's so horrible out on the golf course right now. The camera would just get would get broken if I used it. So, but yeah, I'll talk to the boys on the Spurs 5 and see if they want Bugsy to come in occasionally. Thank you very much, Ulrika. Dean Lord, Chudini, always here, always supporting. Choo to you, Dino. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate you. And to Cat Funt as well, mate. Choo to you as well, mate. Appreciate you, buddy. Something Wong man. Gonna get me cancelled. Josh Caress. Big up to you, Joshy. He says, Spurs Talk Show, my top watched channel this year, according to my 2025 review, with 288 shows watched. So you obviously have a job, Josh. A job that you go to the office on, probably, because other people that have mentioned this today, they're talking about like over 1,100. I think one guy said 1,058 channels watched, and I was top show. Someone else said 1,150, and I was number 3, I think, or number 2. You've only watched 288 channels. Does sound like a lot, but maybe it's not.
That's shocking. Slacking, Josh.
Slacking, mate. Get yourself around. Get yourself around the community more, bro. Big up to you, mate. Thank you very much, man. He says, my Spurs content creator. Big up to you. Adam Horlock as well. Big up to you, Adam. He says, Semenyo plus a top number 8 and a loan gets us into Europe and a quarter final.
I think it gets us further than that, to be honest, if you're talking top number 8.
If you can go and get like a Carlos Baleba, we'll talk about Baleba in a second, because he's been linked again to Tottenham. He's been linked every day this week, Carlos Baleba. It's getting up into the realms of like the mainstream as well.
Well, I think it's because his value's going down because he's playing so crap.
Yeah. Well, do you is he one for you?
I think he's a bit more defensive than a number 8. So I mean, out of those, I really want Wharton. I mean, I know it sounds silly, but I saw a video and they were kind of just explaining why they think he's going to be a top guy. And when they're warming up, when you look at him, you may have seen the video, he looks around every 2 or 3 seconds. And they were just saying, just look, he's a training session and he looks more time around him than he does with the ball at his feet. And I think like that would be so beneficial for us, because I feel like we've got so many powerful runners like your Berghvalls, like your Sarrs, to add somebody that just wants to scan and go, right, we've got time here. We don't have time here. Let's play forward here. I think that would be absolutely vital. So if we are going to be talking of like 100 millions, and you've got to go Wharton, not him.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I rate him, to be fair. I actually do rate Carlos Baleba.
Oh, yeah, same.
But I don't know if he's done it enough to be on this kind of this Caicedo train, where like people just look at Brighton's ability to convert these players, and they always go on. Like there's very few players that end up leaving Brighton that don't really make it. I think Evan Ferguson's probably a bit of a disappointment thus far, but for the rest, Cucurella, McAllister, Caicedo. I mean, there's a long list of players that have gone on and done really good things, right? So, but I also think that you have to remember that these players are being bought by Brighton to play a certain way, and they don't always necessarily then move into the right. Like, but I generally think
a good point. That's a really good point, because I mean I've watched every game this season and I don't know what the Tottenham way is under Frank. We create nothing, score loads of goals, concede loads of goals. I don't get it. It's almost like if you looked at the stats, barring shots and attacking and XG, you'd think we was an all-out attacking football team, but we're not. I don't get it. That's why I think you go safe with somebody like a Semenyo because he plays in any team, a Wharton because they could play in any team, or an Elliott because I believe they could play in any team. So you kind of don't know if safe option's the right word, but you know, whoever comes in next is going to fit into that. They're going to have to fit into their team.
Yeah, I hear you, mate. I hear you. Listen, I'd definitely take Carlos Baleba, but not, I think, 100 million quid.
Well, what do you think someone like Edison from Atlanta?
No, that's perfect. Right now we're talking. Now we're talking. If you were
what would you do to him?
Genuine, what's that?
I said, what would you do to him if he signed? You know, we've got Ramos.
Things that they could have to be for the members only shows. If you could go to Atalanta right now and pick up a double swoop for Edison and Lookman, right? I'm like, okay, that's perfect. You go there, and then I'll tell you what else. If you could go to Everton and go and get you could go to two clubs and drop serious money. Go and get me Ilman and Dye, and go and get me Jared Branthwaite, and then go and get me Lookman and a Edison, and then go and get me a loan on a striker. And Tottenham Hotspur mean absolute business. Then the options, the options and the versatility. You haven't got to fuck around with every club. Just go and like schmooze at the Hill Dickinson, and go and schmooze at Atalanta. Go and offer them some money that they can't refuse. And I think that Everton definitely need money. This argument that they're not in financial problems is bullshit. It's bullshit. Freaking Group have made them very resound and resilient, and I respect them. But they just dropped a lot of money on their new stadium, and they were in the absolute dire straits financially a couple of years ago under the Mashiri ownership.
Yeah.
Like they must, there will be a number that they can't turn down for Jared Branthwaite and for Iliman Ndiaye. Or go and get me, not even Iliman Ndiaye, just go and get me Jared Branthwaite, go and get me Edison, and go and get me Lookman, and then go and get me a striker in Tottenham. Then there is absolutely no excuses. There's nothing that anyone can say about Tottenham Hotspur squad not being good enough.
So I don't want, like we said about the centre back. I don't think we need a centre back for now. I do not want Lookman at all.
You don't.
Nah. Every single manager that guy's been managed, he's fell out with every single one of them.
Yeah, but he still bangs in 25 GA.
Yeah, but no, not for me, to be honest. But Edison,
I'm going to clip this. I'm going to clip this because just in case he ends up at Tottenham, one of us can never ever show
my
up.
left winger. No, look, unless he change, maybe he'll change. Maybe I say Tottenham's his big break, but maybe that's a break in it and his attitude change. That my questions are nothing to do with his ability. Yeah, well, one of my only question about him is his attitude. Nothing to do with his ability. His ability is a fantastic player. I just think that one bad apple can rock the apple cart, and that ain't a good idea. Not when we're as fragile as we are now.
That's true. That's a fair point. But the Atalanta team support, and the Atalanta fans also support Lookman. You know, but he's definitely got. Yeah. He's definitely a bit of a donut for sure. He's definitely got that donut.
At the same time, for me, one of my favourite players of all time was Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and that guy fell out with every person, teammate, coach, everyone. Yeah. But he was unbelievable. So for me, it all depends on how
you have to be a prize cock. Like you have to be the cock of the walk, right? You have to walk.
The Balotelli, didn't you? You have to be the why always me, and then smacking the 30-yarder. Yeah, that's fine. Because I think your fans would love him, everyone else would hate him, which is fine.
Yeah.
So that's my only questions with him. But Edison, I mean, I reckon you'd get him for 50 million or under. I think he's a top player as well.
Yeah, I agree on this 100%. Let me quickly do these last few super chats. Sonny is live. Big up to you, Sonny. Yeah, Sonny's live. Sonny, if that's based on Sonny, he's coming back. He's back for the Slavia Prague game, my man. He says, missed the early part. What did the Lewises not do? We don't know yet. It's whether or not they basically what they didn't do was accept an offer from a DJ and his cohort, which on paper you go, oh, sounds reasonable.
But that sounds like a quality halftime party.
Yeah, he'd sort out the halftime. It'd be a halftime show. No one's going to get a beer, mate. No one's going to queue up for a beer at halftime.
Bottles of water as you go in at halftime. Like, yes, mate.
Everyone's pinging pills. The old Jack and Jills are like,
we're 7-0 down. Yeah.
Ecstasy's pumped into the beer at halftime. Fantastic. Big up to you, Sonny's live. Thank you very much, my man. Pablo Davo, big up to you, Paul. Hope you're okay, my man. He says, my Shawnee love, LOL. Hope you're well, bud. I'm good, my man. I'm good. I missed you guys yesterday. I missed you lot yesterday. I felt bad not doing a show, but I didn't have the time. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you very much for the super chat. And Sonny's come back with another one saying, I also want to echo that this is the best Spurs channel. I appreciate you very much, my man. There's loads of channels out there. Everyone should be subscribed to every single channel. You know, there's lots of small channels out there that are, or smaller channels out there, that are awesome. That I often they pop up in my stream and stuff in my feed, and I go and watch them. And they're always there's no. I don't think there's any terrible channels out there.
Well, I think it's good to have different opinions, isn't it? I think that's what I think a good show is, or a good sub list is. I mean, I watch loads of channels, to be fair. I have my main ones, but I do like to listen to everyone's opinion, whether I agree or disagree. It's good to listen to other people's opinions.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Mate, final topic we haven't really covered is we've done Belieber. Is this new fella, Alex Scotcher? Is he going to say, I scotch you a naming right deal? He's been brought in. He got the Hill Dickinson deal done. And like I said at the start, mate, I felt like that one doesn't really make a hell of a lot of sense. But he managed to get Everton 10 mil ski a year on a 10-year deal, you know, for a company that doesn't really fit the model of what I would think is the obvious option for a B2C kind of branding right still. Yeah. But I don't know too much about commercial law, so maybe they're a big deal in that. I guess they are, but
Yeah.
do you think he can come in and do what previous iterations of commercial directors haven't done at Tottenham and get us 25 million a year?
Well, didn't we have that guy that signed a couple of years ago to try and get the naming rights? We had someone come in before trying to.
Todd Klein. Todd Klein was the commercial director, and he he started like the chain of like, oh, you've now got the official soap dispenser of Tottenham Hotspur, the official toilet paper of Tottenham Hotspur, the official
chocolate,
whatever
paint, Dulux paint,
Dulux paint, yeah.
Look,
I'd love to fucking know what that looks like. You know, listen, we're gonna say that we're gonna put out a tweet, right? That you are the official paint of Tottenham Hotspur, and for that you're gonna pay us, 500 grand.
Just give us 10 mil. And what we'll do is we'll have a couple of geezers painting the wall with your paint, like big Dulux,
yeah.
I'll do that.
Those murals, right? Those murals that are done on the outside. We're going to get the geezer to use Dulux spray cans.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? You know?
Yeah. To be fair, look, I was actually one that said I didn't want a naming right to start off with. I give Daniel Levy a hell of a lot of credit for keeping it at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, to be honest, because when you're playing in the big boy leagues, and by that I mean the NFL in America, your boxings with Saudi Arabia, they're all going to Sharm el Sheikh or whatever his name is. Where are we fighting this weekend? Oh, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What's Tottenham Hotspur? Yeah. Oh, well, it's a football club. Do you know what I mean? 100%. Like, 100%. For me, I completely get that. I think that was really, really smart. But now, again, I think you kind of got a couple of years witching hour where you kind of go, right, this is at the max capacity. This is where everyone's like, brand new stadium. Look at this. We can have,
sports, right?
I think in 2 years' time, you're then going, oh, it's a bit old now. You know, Real Madrid.
No one's going to be saying it's the best stadium in the world in 12 months' time, are they?
Well, Real Madrid open theirs, Barcelona open theirs. You're now going, oh, okay. Man United are going to open theirs. They go, do we invest in Spurs or do we wait a couple of years?
United, same.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's one of those things as well. I think it could be a real game changer because if we could get 25, 50, whatever million a year, it's all profit. Do you know what I mean? So it's all helping the club. I just really hope as a whole that everybody's on the right track now. We've got rid of the excuses more than anything else in Daniel Levy because, look, everything was Daniel Levy's fault, barring the good stuff. So that for me was sort of like an excuse. No, I'm saying like is in the general public.
Yeah.
So for me,
all the
now
good,
there's no.
That goes to someone else. All the bad, your fault, bro.
Yeah, well, that's how it come across. So, for me, you've got this opportunity now to roll the dice, and if you don't, then you've got to go with Daniel Levy.
Yeah, 100%.
And what do you think on that?
I'd like to see what Scotcher does. I think that Tottenham need to get. I 100% agree with you. I think that the kind of the shine has sort of gone off the stadium a little bit, and now that everyone knows the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and has done for the last 6 years, now it's the right time to kind of mug somebody else off and try and get someone to come in. But if they're going to nickel and dime, like if someone's offering 20 million quid a year, take it. Like, don't hold out for this 25 thing because we've missed out on probably 175 million quid's worth of revenue over the last 5 years by not taking deals earlier. So I agree with you that the trend is now that Tottenham won't be the best stadium forever because nothing lasts forever, right? So it's probably the right time to go. Speaking of which, James, it's probably the right time to round off here, my man. It's been 2 hours. Thank you for coming on. What's your plans? Are you doing any streams later on?
No, I don't think so. But I'm going to go home and chill, to be honest.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you, mate. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's been on the show, and yeah. Someone's put I should never reward people that are put in the capital letters. But when someone puts in the capital letters quote, I always bring it up. I don't want to hear deluded fans complaining about Spurs and putting unneeded pressure on our players and manager when you don't want Ademola Lookman at our club. That's talking to you. He's talking to you, James.
It's my art. You got like an animal in your name, do you know what I mean? It's my art. and I never said, yeah, okay. Don't know.
The free beer stadium sounds good, says something wrong. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone. Thank you so much for all of your super chats and your generosity today. And we'll be back. I'm going to be, I don't know when, probably in the next hour, going to be going over to Football Inc. So keep a lookout for that. And then we'll be back at 8 o'clock this evening again for Spurs 5, where I think Stelios got a little bit too cookie in the last show. Tonight, there's only 4 of us. There's Johnny's not around, so there's a guest coming in. Lukey's coming in, I think, but I'm going to have a little bit more time to say some things. So if Stelios tries to cook a little bit too much, then you know what? I've got to be the counter cook because I don't know if I can rely on other people not to cook. Stel's got to be cooked occasionally too.
Where's Johnny on holiday? Is Johnny on holiday?
He's got to deal with some because he got
No,
broken.
yeah.
He's got to deal with that shit. But
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone. Thanks everyone for coming on. Cheers, James. Appreciate you, mate. See you guys later on. And like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.